All right, everyone. Welcome to today's mini workshop. And for those of you who are watching us online, thank you for being a part of the community. And in case you're not yet subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe to the channel so that we can get to learn together and grow together. And also share this video with someone in your community, someone you know, someone you care about. Trust me, they are going to be grateful. They are going to be thankful for it. Okay, so today, if you stay with me to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how your inefficient allocation of resources over the years created the financial position you're in right now, and what you can do from where you are to change the possibilities of the future. So if that looks like something you might want to experience, then this video and this class is actually for you. Okay, the question is, why is it that some people you know today who you think probably are not earning so well, or things are not going on so well for them financially, suddenly you see them in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years and they have blown up, they have become financially successful, things are working for them, they have successful businesses, they have investments, things are just going on for them. And you have someone else who you look at today and it looks like everything is okay, like this person is having the kind of life you want to have, and then a few years down the line, 3, 4, 5, 10 years down the line, the person is looking like a shadow of himself. Nothing is working, no assets, nothing is going on. That is a question that this class is meant to answer today. So here is what I love to call prosperity allocation curve. Okay, prosperity allocation curve. This curve helps you to see how you can create prosperity in the future based on the activities of the present. That is what this curve is all about. So this curve has two sides. It has the C side and it has the P side. Okay? So what does the C side stand for? The C side stands for consumption, while the P side stands for productivity. Now, one thing you need to understand is that any money you spend, any money that comes out of pocket, any money that you spend now is going to affect your experience in the present, and it's also going to affect your experience in the future. That's one thing you need to understand. Then secondly is that any money you spend right now is either going to be exclusively for consumption or for productivity, or a mixture of both. Right? So if you make money right now, you're going to you're going to do one of three things. You're going to spend everything on consumption, you're going to spend everything on prosperity, on productivity, right? Something that is productive in nature, or you're going to allocate that resources on a ratio between consumption and productivity, depending on what your reality is and depending on what your intelligence is. Now, I think in the previous video, we've talked about something that also will play out here, which is the fact that when you look at your expenses in the present, it is both a function of the short run and the long run. So when we talk about short run in economics, we are talking about the immediate effect, what happens immediately, right? And when we talk about the long run effect, we are talking about what happens in the future. So the financial experience you're having right now in the present is a function of the financial choices you have made in the past. And the financial experience you're going to have in the future will be a function of the financial choices you make today. So if you think that the position you're in now, of course, might not be the best, and of course we all want to improve the future, then it might be very important for you to begin to learn how to make better decisions today. So along this line, is the efficiency line. This is the efficiency line. So this is a place that says if you put some units, if you put all your resources in P, that is things that produce, okay, you're going to have 0 for C. Okay, so you're going to have nothing to consume, and that is not the best, because I mean, if you whatever you put for productivity is not going to yield results in the immediate, it's going to yield results in the future. So if that happens, the question is, how do you survive the present? Because you also need to be alive to experience the future. If you're always about the future, and you don't learn how to experience the present, you probably might not live well into that future, right? You probably might come down with some kind of sickness, or something will not allow you to really walk into that future and experience it. So you might eventually work all your life, burn all your fingers, and then it will now be the people that are coming behind you that will eventually get to experience the beauty of all the things you have created. And I don't think that's a decent way to live life, because life is meant for you to enjoy while also creating enjoyment and opportunity for those who are coming behind you. So it's not for you to burn all your fingers and say, oh, I'm doing this for my kids, I don't care about myself. No, you need to care about yourself, because you're also a human being. And before you can better love your neighbor, right, you must first of all love yourself properly. Okay. Then there is this other place, which is, if I spend all my resources on consumption, right, I will have zero stuff for productivity. And that is where some other people find themselves. Most people find themselves here. They make money, they consume everything. They make money, they consume everything. Now, what happens if this is the case is that in the present, in the short run, you're going to have a very interesting life. It's going to look like you're balling. It's going to look like everything is working on well for you. So many people will envy you. So many people want to be like you. I mean, you've seen this with celebrities. They are living a life that looks like, something you would want to have. And then a few years down the line, they are broke. They are begging for food and all of that. Okay? It's a possibility of the fact that they spent most of the resources at this point, which made them enjoy the present. But when they walked into the future, there was nothing in the future for them to enjoy. There was nothing. Why? Because productivity builds capacity, right? Capacity. That's what productivity does. It builds capacity. So if you are channeling more of your resources here, it will help you to build capacity to produce more in the future. This on itself is wasting. Okay? So this is more like a wasting expenses, because if you consume it, it goes away, it's gone. If you put something on productivity, you build capacity that will help you to produce more in the future. Okay, so that is that. The best thing you need to do is to learn how to walk along this line, such that you can have good experiences in the present by spending on consumption, and also put things aside for the future. Now that brings us to some kind of positions that people might experience based on how they behave. So there are about 4 different possibilities that can happen based on how you behave in the present. So I'm going to share them here. So the first possibility is what I refer to as poverty possibility boundary. Okay, and what does that look like? This is what the poverty possibility boundary looks like. So we have this. So this is C and this is P. This is the P side, this is the C side, right? And you have something like this. So this is P1, this is P2, okay? This is C2, this is C1. So what you're seeing here is what I refer to as poverty possibility boundary. Why? Because you're spending so much of the resources for the immediate, which is consumption, and very little of the resources for productivity. What happens is that these little resources you're putting in building capacity, when you get into the future, you will not have the capacity to be able to absorb your cost. Why? Because we are going to see what I refer to as personal misery index. Okay, personal misery index, that talks about the extent to which you suffer as a result of misallocation of resources and rising cost of living. Okay, now in that instance, you will get into the future, things have become more expensive, you have more responsibilities, but you really have little capacity to produce more so that you can even have more to enjoy in the present and to reinvest for the future. That's why I call it poverty possibility boundary. So if this looks like how you have been deploying your resources, because a large chunk of your resources is going into immediate enjoyment and very little is going into building capacity, watch it, because what is happening is that probably you are spending to create poverty, future poverty. You're spending to create future poverty because you won't have capacity for more in the future. Now, the second one is prosperity possibility boundary. Okay, prosperity possibility boundary. Now, what does that look like? So here is what the possibility what is the prosperity possibility boundary looks like. Okay, so this is your C, this is your P. Now you have a situation like this. Okay, you have a situation like this. So this is, say, let's call this P1, let's call this P2, let's call this C2, let's call this C1. So you see here, what is going on is that the rates at which you consume is lower than the rate at which you build capacity. So you make money quite all right, you're enjoying the present, you're spending money, but you have reduced your consumption expenses so well that you have a lot to invest. You are investing more than you're consuming. So because of that activity, in the present, you might not look like things are going on well for you. You might just look like a basic person, right? But because of this behavior, this thing that you're building, in the long run, you're going to have more resources that will help you to reinvest more and also be able to consume more. So this is a very good position to think of your personal economy. This is how you need to really look at your personal economy, because if you are here, right, your capacity building is thin and you have very little investment, you're investing so little in your capacity, in your skill, in your expertise, in your business, whatever it is that makes you money, but you're spending so much on things, right? You're creating future poverty. If you are here doing this, pushing more of your money into things that help you build capacity, into assets, into real estate, stock, whatever it is that you can find, why just living on the little extra? You're just meeting your basic necessities, right? I think we've done a previous video where I made a difference between needs, wants, and necessities. You're just pushing more of your consumption is resting more on your necessities, and in some instances your needs and your necessities, and you're not trying to satisfy wants in any way. Okay, what happens is that in the long run, in the foreseeable future, you're going to have those resources or the capacity you have built through the assets and upgrading of your skill and yourself will produce more resources that can help you now consume better in the future and also reinvest more, because the more you have, the more you can consume and the more you can reinvest. But living this way helps you build the necessary character, help you to build the necessary discipline that will make that even possible, because people don't realize that they don't get into the future and change, right? They get into the future with how they are behaving now. So if the future is something you want to look different, you need to ask yourself, the way I'm behaving now, is it possibly going to create that kind of future for me? If the answer is no, then you need to begin to ask yourself, how can I change? How can I do things differently so I can have a different result? Because they say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting a different result. It's amazing how many people that are doing the same thing, making the same financial mistake, not learning, even though they make New Year resolutions every year, they are not changing themselves, they are not improving themselves, they're not just interested in new habits, new methods of living, but they want a different result. They hope that the future is going to be different. I'm sorry to shock you that the future might not be different if you refuse to do anything different today. All right, so these are the two positions. We have the other two, so I wanted to really understand what these two looks like. All right, so the other two we have is, this one is what I refer to as mediocre possibility boundary. Mediocre possibility boundary. Yeah, it's funny, right? Mediocre possibility boundary. So how does that work? This is how it works. This is how it works. This is what it looks like, right? So this is your P and this is your C side. And then you have this boundary here. So we'll call this P1, we call this C1, okay? Then you have this position like this, and we'll call this C2, and we'll call this P2. So what is happening here is that the change in investment, the change in building capacity, the change in your ability to spend your resources on things that help you to build capacity, like investing, like improving yourself, is the same as how you spend on consumption. So let's assume that in a year you have, say maybe $50,000, right, or whatever currency you might be looking at, and that's what you made. And in that year, you spent 25k on consumption and 25k on investment. This might look good. Okay, I made $50,000. I spent 25k on consumption. I spent 25k on investment. It might look good on paper, but in the future, it might not look good. You know why? Because things are going to become more expensive for you as you grow older. Okay, and that's where we are going to look at on the other one now. Things are going to become more expensive for you as you grow older. So if you have not accumulated capacity, then there's going to be a problem. Because you know why? Apart from the fact that things are going to become expensive for you as you grow older, you're not going to have a lot of energy. Your risk appetite will not be as high. So your ability to step into risky ventures, step into things that have high potential but high risk, will be reduced, and you have more dependence. So you become more careful, you become more fearful. Because of that, you will not really have a lot of opportunities in the future if you have not created that capacity in the present. So ability to have more opportunities in the future is a function of you creating the possibilities now, the things you're doing now with your resources. So if you're equally allocating your resources that you have currently between consumption and capacity building or productivity in the same ratio, you are not really positioning yourself for better opportunities in the future. Now, the other one is what is known as misery possibility boundary. This is the most dangerous one. Misery possibility boundary. This one, nobody should actually trade here because it's dangerous, but a lot of people are actually here already. So this is what this looks like. So this is P and this is C. Okay, this is this is this. So P, change in P is 0. Okay, change in P is 0. So this is C1, C2. So the people here are not making any form of investment. In fact, they are borrowing. Sometimes they are on subsidies. Sometimes they are in debt. Sometimes they are depending on handouts. They are depending on charity. They are charity cases. People that fall into this place are charity cases, right? So there is no resource to invest. Everything that happens is a function of the present, a function of consumption in the present. From this place, we have what I refer to as personal misery index. Okay, personal misery index. Now, the personal misery index measures the extent to which your future is going to be affected by your present choices. Okay, so it measures both your condition in the present and what the future will look like based on the choices you're making in the present. So there are some group of researchers, right? There are some group of researchers that that did a study, and the question they were asking, the research question was, what do people who are living in poor economies, right? People who are poor people who are living on below $1 per day, what do they spend bulk of their resources on? And what they found out is very fascinating. They found out that people who are in poor countries who are earning very low are more likely to spend their money on two things: sugar and entertainment, right? Sugar and entertainment. So that's why you will not be surprised that in poor countries, people are always eager to celebrate. People spend money they don't have to name kids they don't even have any future plans for. to do naming ceremony. People spend so much to go to church. People spend so much for wedding. People spend so much to enjoy themselves. It is because of the what is called the misery position of those people. Now, when people are in a place where they don't see how their future is going to improve, they focus on the present. And because of the fact that the present on itself is very uninspiring, very uninteresting, they drown their misery in things that are sweet and things that are entertaining. So things that bring instant gratification are the things that they eventually get to spend bulk of their resources on. So if you're living in a place like Lagos, Nigeria, or you live in some of these African countries, and you see someone who doesn't have money spending so much to do naming ceremony, spending so much to do burial, you should understand where it's coming from. That it's actually empirically proven that poor people will spend more of their money on sugar and entertainment, things that are sweet and things that entertain them, because they want to fight their position. So if you're at this point where the income you're earning is just enough for you to consume, or you feel like the money is so small, right? The first thing you need to do is never you believe that the money is so small. Never you believe that the money is so small. Two, never you believe that you're in a position where there is nothing you can do now to improve your possibilities in the future. So you need to understand that no matter how little of an effort you can make today, right, it can count for something in the future. Let's assume that you are country like you're in Nigeria, for example, which is where I am doing this video from, and you earn so little, right? You feel like, why am I saving? The saving doesn't count. Save all the same, because the money you have saved, no matter how little, let's assume that you even save, say, 1,000 naira per month. You're just able to save 1,000 naira per month every month. In 12 months, that's 12,000 naira. Is nothing, but it is something. Here is what can happen. You can use that 12,000 naira to buy a book that can change your life. You can use that 12,000 naira to buy a workshop that can change your life. You can use that 12,000 naira, go on Udemy and sign up for a course that can help you build a skill that can change your life. You can use that 12,000 naira to enter into a scholarship. You can use that 12,000 naira to attend an event, pay for a ticket to attend an event and meet someone that can change your life. You can use that 10,000 naira or 12,000 naira to buy a gift and send to someone you're trying to get as your mentor, and write a note and say, please, I'm in a very bad place, can you be my mentor? And that 12,000 naira and the gift here, which you have used that 12,000 naira to buy, can get the person's attention, and the person will just be like, okay, who is this person? Let me know more about the person. And eventually you might strike a relationship that can eventually change your future from there. So I want you to understand this misery possibility and make sure you don't fall there, because it's a very bad place to be at. It's a place where nothing good comes out from, right? So never you be there. Never you be there. Always keep doing things that can improve you and improve what the future will look like, even if you don't know how that is going to happen. Because most times the reason why people don't even try is because they are trying to ask themselves, how is that even possible? Why should I save this little amount of money? It's so small, it's so insignificant. How will it even add up to anything? Trust me, it will add up if you can only make the decision and take the action of doing something. Don't expect not to do anything in the present, right? But expect to have a different result in the future. Don't refuse to wake up early and put yourself together just because you don't think there is something productive in the day for you to do. That would be the easiest way for you to really dump yourself, because if you keep doing that and do that over an extended period of time, you're going to become a very unproductive, a very lazy, and a very unresourceful person. And even when opportunity comes, the opportunity will not find you attractive, and nobody will want to help you because you will not look like something that needs help, or you will not look like something that deserves to be helped. So no matter the situation you are in, no matter how miserable it might look like what you're earning currently is, please never find yourself in the misery possibility boundary or curve. Because if everything goes to consumption and nothing goes to building your capacity, you're going to suffer in the present, and you're also going to suffer in the future. and that should not be how it is. So thank you for being a part of the class. For those of you online, thank you for joining us. In case you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and let me know if you learned something from this video. Also, if you would like to be a member of our community, get details about our project, get details about our programs, courses, my books, check the link in the comment section or the link attached to the description of this video and join our community. And also, if you're interested in investing, especially in real estate in Nigeria, also use the link in the comment section or the description to this video to join my community and get to talk to me one-on-one so that we can see how we can help you as well. All right, till we see you again, stay blessed and be the best. God bless you.